First day of the early sign-in period. We'll take questions for Coach Traylor. Please use the raise hand function and wait for me to call on you. JJ, you can get us started.
Jeff, what were some of the biggest challenges in building this recruiting class in the early signing period?
Oh, no different than normal. I mean, it's just, it's just different as far as what it used to be like, but it's still the same thing. You're trying to get them to sign. You're hoping the documents come across, and they don't come across on fax anymore, but you're hoping the thing comes across on a computer now. But, yeah, just recruiting and trying to get them signed.
You had a pretty good haul on the defensive side of the ball there. Can you just give us an overview of kind of what you liked on who you got defensively?
Yeah, we're getting, 3 linebackers. We're replacing some really good ones, but we got 3 we feel really good about. I'll go through each one of them if you want me to. I don't know. Archie is somebody we feel great about. He's got a beautiful spirit. He's ready to come in and start playing now. He reminds me of Shad with his excitement on that. Obviously, we got Brandon Brown at Archie. We plan on playing at the nickel, actually, and we're going to put him out there where Pee Wee and Marcellus have been. He's a really good athlete out there. So when I say linebacker, I'm talking about the Sam, the Mike, and the Jack. Brandon's like him as well. Brandon's just younger, but he's a 600-meter guy. You go to Aiden. Aiden's a kid that's going to come in here in January, and his relationship that Coach Scott has with his coach. So we're excited about Aiden. And then obviously out of Lake Travis, Braden Lott. Whenever Hank Carter says he's really good, and we watch him, we've had great success with Hank's kids. So the linebackers, we got also Jamari Vincent, who we feel extremely excited about. So that many linebackers means you got a bunch of athletes. Obviously our hometown, we're excited about that, getting Jacob. We worked very hard to get that flipped, and we got that done. At safety, we had to get, we're very excited about Jarvis. He's young, but we feel good about him. Then we got another hometown kid as well, and Xavier, who was at, Angelo, but we got him here late. So, we're excited about it. We still got some more coming. We think we'll get, probably 3 more signed this week, and probably 12 before the period's up in February.
Jeff, with the defensive guys, you also had an offensive guy from San Antonio. How important is it to recruit these guys that might not necessarily come out of high school? Some come out of high school, some go different routes. What's the logic there recruiting local San Antonio kids?
Yeah, I wish we had more. Honestly, I think you're talking about Chris Dupree. I would assume at wide receiver. We're really excited about Chris. He'll be here in January as well. Xavier will be here in January. Played at Harlan.Obviously, Chris played at Clemens, and then Jacob, played at Cornerstone. So, yeah, we got a lot of them starting right now for us. On our current team that we're really excited about with Kenny and our center and Ben and DeAndre, and I'm sure I'm leaving out somebody else from San Antonio, but I know we got good representation right now.
What did you see from your quarterback signing, and what are some of the things he does pretty well?
Well, he's still playing. That's one great sign. He plays from a great program. Argyle is one of the best programs in the country, and I just like it. He came to camp. He's very bright, got a great arm. He's very athletic, and you'll see him run more and more the bigger the games get. They've been trying to protect him. Big fan of McGuire.
Do you guys plan to bring in another quarterback? Is that one of the positions you're looking at, or what do you think is going to happen there?
Oh, if we could get an older guy, that wanted to come in here and, compete for that number 2 spot, and know that Owen's out of here, after this year, and they'll have a chance to start. That I'd be interested in something like that, but I'm not going to go out there just to do it. I feel really good about the room. But, yeah, we'd be interested in an older guy.
Nate, we'll go to you.
Hey, Coach. I think I've asked you this question before, but obviously with NIL and the transfer portal changing the way college football is as a whole, I mean, 12 guys in 12 high school guys out of the 17 feels like recruiting high school players has kind of been lost in the shuffle of people just recruiting guys from the portal, especially like these bigger schools. But how have you seen the recruitment of high school players? Because 12 on the surface maybe feels like a high number, right? And it just kind of gets lost in the shuffle. But how have you seen the recruitment of high school players change with the transfer portal and NIL just sort of taking over college football?
Yeah, you had to fact check me, Jay, but when I came here, I never said that I was going to be a straight high school guy. I thought that was one of the mistakes we had made with Charlie and Chad is we were too high school. I think I always have said if I had a dream, it'd be 15 high school kids, about 5 junior college kids, and about 5 transfers to get to my 25. That's since day one. Now, obviously, the landscape's changed in my 6th season, so I'm sure if Luca were on here, he could fact check me on all that like right now. And I'm not sure we're going to be at 12 when it's done. There's still really good high school players playing right now that we're recruiting that haven't been to our campus yet for official visits. They'll sign in February. So I'm hoping we can get our number closer to 15, which is always kind of what our goal is. But yes, to your point, across the country, that's changed because let Jeff go get them and develop them, and we'll just buy them from him when they get older. I don't blame them. I understand it.
Is that obviously it puts a bigger weight on the relationships you've got with these high school kids and starting them then earlier and then that level of trust that you have with them then, I guess? Oh,
no doubt. I mean, the high school coach is such a big part of this still for us, just the relationships we have with them. And, they know how we treat their kids. They know how we develop them. They know we're going to see it through with them. And we've won a ton of really big games here, and we've lost some real heartbreakers here. So those coaches know how we treat their kids. As high as the high gets, as low as the low gets, they know how we treat their kids.
Back to you, JJ.
Jeff, did you say you're planning on signing 3 more in the early period and maybe a dozen more? Is that kind of what you're looking at?
Well, we've got 3 out there that have not come across yet that we hope to be across here by Friday. And then I would expect us to even go maybe as high as 12 in February. There's only one portal window now. So, I mean, when February comes, that's pretty much your roster.
I was going to follow up on that. What have those discussions about roster retention been like? Obviously, you have to know some of that going into next month at least.
Yeah, there's a few that are already communicated with us. They're going to get in. And I'm sure I've got some more surprises coming. I hope not. But it's the new world, brother. So obviously, as that changes, my numbers will change. So I wish I could be more specific and tell you that. I don't know what that's going to look like. But yeah, there's all those conversations they're having. Everybody wants to stay. It's literally going to come down to, will we have enough to pay them to keep them?
Yeah, I was just going to follow up on that. A few weeks ago, we asked you kind of what the landscape was with the rev share at UTSA. Has there been any movement on that? I mean, without getting into too specific numbers, like what can you tell us about what's happening with UTSA?
Yeah, I do think it's important that I want to say make a State of the Union speech on this right here, but 2 things can both be true, right? I was hired by Taylor Amy and Lisa Campos. That's the 2 people that hired me. I'm eternally grateful for being given that opportunity. We had a miraculous season in 2021 where they really invested in me personally and my staff, and they've invested a lot into this football program. Yet, the goalpost has moved tremendously on all of us since that agreement in 2021. And now it's factual that if you're not if you're not at 4 million to 5 million, you're not even in the hunt on rev share. We had to be at that number. I'm not saying that's why we lost games this year. It's my responsibility to win the ball games. I'm not making an excuse. Just your common sense would tell you our roster is not going to be as good if we don't have as much money to spend as the other teams do. And I was bidding on that back when we were winning 12 and 11. That's when I was barking the most, because I knew when I was winning, everybody would be like, what's he even talking about? And I've tried to stay quieter since we've been in a little bit of a slump the last 2 years. So I hope that, yes, they've invested tremendously in our program. They have. But the goalpost has moved. And in order for us to be in the hunt, we're going to have to be minimum of 4 to 5 million. I think I can stay in the hunt, even with those guys that are a lot higher than that. But we need to get to that number. And we're working our tails off to get there. I mean, there's not a day goes by that Dr. Compost and I are not thinking of some way to fundraise, another concert, another dinner for me to go eat, something to sign, something to auction. I mean, I've seen guys that are on right now reaching out to me about matching, having $25,000 matches. They're trying to have ways to do it. It's not like I'm not trying. I never stop trying to think of a way to raise money for this program. But I just hate that it comes across that I'm blaming my president, I'm blaming my AD. I'm not. Those are the two people that hired me. But we've got to do more. And I know they're trying to figure it out too. I know they are.
Jeff, do you think you'll be able to get that support at a level where you could stay competitive? Do you think it'll happen?
In time, I do. I don't know how fast that will be.
Sorry, JJ. Nate, you're up.
Coach, so back to staying in the hunt, are there guys that you've signed just today and guys that you recruit now? Because you kind of know a lot of the schools that usually you recruit against, and for certain kids, are there guys that you're able to recruit right now because so many other teams are so portal focused, right? Where maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you're looking at a kid where you're right there in the hunt with this kid for talent purposes, but with all these with so many other schools, just bigger schools going after NIL and portal guys, that you're able to recruit these guys at the high school level.
Not as much as you think, because we used to beat out all those schools, not all those schools up north, but you'd be shocked at how many schools up north we used to beat out just on our relationships. And they'd go up there and hate it how cold it was and come back. Now the money is just so huge, they don't come back. They just stay and they're cold, but they got a lot of money in their pocket. But your point's valid. It just for me, it hasn't really worked as well because we used to could beat out teams up north when there was no money being exchanged.
JJ, we'll go back to you.
Jeff, what's the status of Justin Burke? Is he still with UTSA?
Justin and I have been together for 9 years. And his last 3 years, our offensive coordinator, our offenses have been no worse than 33rd in the country in scoring. And the people he played were far, far greater than who Will Stein and Barry Lundy Jr. competed against. So I will keep Justin and I's relationship and his decisions between him and I. There's tons of speculation going on out there. Justin will have a decision to make on what he wants to do and when he wants to do it and where he wants to. So I'm going to keep that between Justin and I.
Jeff, wanted to circle back on the American Conference head coaches. There's been some considerable movement among some of the top teams in this conference with head coaches. Well, what's your reaction to seeing all those guys kind of move around?
I wish I would have got hired here now instead of when I did, because all those guys are coming in, and part of the deal is rev share now. Like in the contract, your number. So that's why I know, what these guys are getting a lot now. And That's what's hilarious about all of this. I'm sure there are many fans that are ready for me to disappear. But when y'all hire the next guy, that's going to be part of the deal. The part of the deal is going to be you have to spend this money on rev share or you're not going to get a good coach. I don't have that leverage anymore, JJ. I'm just trying to win right now, brother. We've been barely above 500 the last 2 years, and I'm sick about it.
Nate, did you have a follow-up?
I did not. Sorry, I lower my hand.
All right, JJ.
Jeff, it's been less than a week since the end of the season. I wanted to ask you if you've had any perspective to think about, the 6-6 record and how this year went.
Yeah, I'm not happy at all. It's not what we expect. We expect to compete for championships here. We were in the hunt to the very last game, our first year, our second year, our third year, and our fourth year. And our fifth and sixth year, we've not been. We've lost our conference opener 2 straight years. That's a terrible way to do that. We lost to both our rivals. That's the first time that's happened since I've been here. You can't do that. It was not a successful season in any way up to our standards. I am, again, proud of our kids, how they were resilient, how they fought. They beat some unbelievable teams in Tulane and East Carolina. Those are 2 of the best teams in our league. But we lost 3 extremely close games that you have to win. And that comes down to coaching, and we did not get it done on the field.
Along those lines, I know you don't know where you're going to go for your bowl game, but who you're going to play. But how important is it to finish this year up strong and have a good performance in that game?
I'd like to. But who knows what that's even going to look like? Who's going to be playing for the other team? Who's going to be playing for our team? Hunter Rimmons going to call our offense. Who's going to be calling their offense? It's just wild. You always hope you play a team that's in greater disarray than you are. That's what you hope for. Isn't that sad?
And then my last question for you, Jeff, is just what's your message to the fan base kind of after this season on a day where kind of you see how much the landscape of recruiting in football has changed from the previous years? What's your message to your supporters out there?
I don't blame them for being frustrated. They should be frustrated. I'm frustrated. But there's nobody working harder than I am. And we're evaluating everything again. And we did some great things last year. Our nutrition was so much better. Our strength and conditioning was so much better. We ran the ball so much better. We just didn't win, in my opinion, 3 really close games that will haunt this season. Obviously, nobody wants to get blown out, but I don't know. We could have played A&M in South Florida 100 times, and I don't know that we could have beaten those guys. North Texas, congrats to Eric. Really happy with him and John in the championship game. 2 really good coaches. But we were fortunate enough to beat Tulane. But Eric has done a great job at North Texas, and I'm happy for all those guys. So I totally understand our fans' frustration. The AAC is real. It's a great league, and we've all got to do more. All of us, starting with the head coach, and mainly the head coach.
Anything else for Coach Traylor this afternoon?
Coach, I'll throw one more in there, kind of softer one here for you, but I know you're a big high school guy. You got 2 games on Friday night with San Antonio area teams playing for the spot in the state semis. You have any thoughts on how this high school bracket, with how good San Antonio's look from a high school standpoint?
Bro, how can I not? I got Will Traylor starting at wide receiver and Cole Traylor starting at safety for Bernie, baby. And they're going against that gun Ron Ritterman. So I got Hunter. We got a split locker room right now. So I got a lot of interest in that one for sure. I will be at that game because I'll be their uncle. I'll be there, no recruiting, just to watch my family play, and obviously watching Ron's great team play as well.
I mean, are you sitting in the stands for that one? Are you wearing the purple jacket, or what? Are you going to be down the field?
I'm gonna see what my compliance tells me I can do, and whatever my compliance tells me I can do, I'm going to do that. So I think they'll let me wear my Roadrunner gear. I don't think I've ever gone anywhere. I think I even go to church with my Roadrunner cap on. So I hope they'll let me wear my Roadrunner cap. But if not, I'll probably have my big bald head, or I don't know what the temp's going to be like Friday. So I might have a toboggan on. We'll see.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everyone.
God bless. Birds up.